Good evening. Hope everybody is enjoying their Sunday, winding down the weekend, maybe in bed, getting ready for the work week. I can report to you right now from Mexico City, from the hotel room, that this is a really cool city. This place is fun, and I got to eat well. I got to see some of the sights, and obviously got to have some street tacos, as we will see right here. So this is going to be the taco review. You have to do it when you come to Mexico City. Just street food in general. That's what this place is all about. And here you see the Al Pastor spit. Now, Al Pastor meat, it's actually fascinating. This is Mediterranean influence. This is from a cultural diaspora from the Middle East back a long time ago. Whenever you go to Istanbul, whenever you go to any one of those cities where meat rotates on a spit, it looks a whole lot like the meat rotating, or not rotating on a spit, but the meat is on a spit with Al Pastor. And I'm sure you've seen this time and time again. Sometimes they put a pineapple up at the top so you could mix that protein with the sweet taste of the fruit, and the final product is absolutely delicious. It hits different than tacos in the US. They really do. And I mean, even the tortillas were fresh. Here you could see him chopping it up. It was awesome. I had a good time. I had a good time out on the street, just checking out a spot where the smell really just drew you in. And it's something I wanted to do for a long time. I've traveled to a lot of cities, but I hadn't been to the largest one in North America. And the largest one in North America is Mexico City. It dwarfs American cities like New York. You could feel the vibrance, the size of the place. And then obviously the Mexico City street food is part of what makes this place really famous. So my taco review, I would say that it was the best taco that I've had. It was also very affordable. It smelled good from over a block away. I mean, you could tell where you were going with this place. I'm going to put the name of the place. I don't want to get it wrong, but I have it written in my phone, which is recording right now. But I'm going to put the name of the place down into the comment section and in the description when I'm done with this. But the Al Pastor was fantastic. Whenever you see that spit, that meat rotating over on that spit, that you're going to be in for a treat. And I was really, really happy about it. So Mexico City street food gets a high grade for me after that little tour through the city. Anyway, I wanted to talk on this Sunday night. I know we had a lot of crazy football today. I got to see Chargers Chiefs. Boy, that was nuts. Patrick Mahomes, 9 lives. That guy, he doesn't need 9 lives. He'll beat you with just 1 life there at the end of the game. But the 49ers win over the Chargers looks a whole lot more impressive now, given how well they played Kansas City. And, just look at this. It's a cutthroat league. It's hard to win in the National Football League. And the 49ers obviously have done it over the past couple of weeks. They're going to try to do it again tomorrow night here in Mexico City against the Arizona Cardinals. By the way, I saw a lot of 49ers fans out, some Cardinals fans on the plane actually today, but they're anticipating over 80% 49ers fans, and a lot of Bosa jerseys and a lot of Kittle jerseys. I would say those are the two most popular jerseys amongst the locals. I saw a lot of, obviously, fans that traveled in from the United States in today with their jerseys on. But I would say amongst the locals here, Bosa is a really, really popular jersey, the number 97. The game's going to be out at Estadio Azteca. It's going to be majority 49ers fans, essentially a home game as far as advantage for them goes with crowd noise. Technically a road game because this is one of the Cardinals' home games. So that is a big swing in the 49ers' favor. And they're going to just try to rack up another win against the team that isn't as good as them. I mean, objectively, this is my preview of 49ers-Cardinals up on Athletics. So go ahead and check it out. This ran yesterday, has our 10 observations and the predictions. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the link into the chat section right now. So go ahead and check that out. You guys already know I predicted the 49ers win this game. It's hard to not predict the 49ers to win a game like this when they're so much better across the board in every single statistical category entering this game. And I'm talking about the advanced stats. I'm talking about DVOA. I'm talking about efficiency, right? Offense for the Cardinals has really struggled this year, and they probably are not going to have Kyler Murray based on what Peter Schrager reported of the NFL Network. Probably going to be Colt McCoy. I get it. Colt McCoy beat the 49ers last year, but that 49ers defense was a whole lot worse than the one that we've seen the last couple weeks out right? They had Drake Kirkpatrick at cornerback. They don't have Drake Kirkpatrick at cornerback anymore. They've replaced him with one of the best run-stopping corners in football. Charvarius Ward is actually graded at the very top of the league. No missed tackles so far this year. He rejoined practice for the 49ers on Saturday. So the 49ers are, I think, in really good position to slow down a Cardinals offense that probably won't have its starting quarterback. They just lost Zach Ertz. DeAndre Hopkins is questionable right now. I get it. You have other weapons on this offense. AJ Green, obviously one of them. It's a spread offense. It's an air raid offense. It will strain the 49ers as far as their tackling ability goes. The DBs will have to tackle in space. The pass rush will have to be disciplined, even if it is Colt McCoy, who obviously can't move as well as Kyler Murray. But I do think the 49ers are much better equipped than they were against Colt McCoy last year, especially in the secondary, which is why they're heavily favored in this game. They're favored by 8 points. Now, you look at the Arizona defense, and they're going to be missing some pieces. Byron Murphy Jr., their cornerback, he's not going to be playing in this game. By the way, offensive side of the ball, DJ Humphrey starting left tackle out also, just like Murphy with a back injury. So injuries galore for the Cardinals. The 49ers are the healthiest they've been since early in the season. And I do think that they're going to be able to move the ball against this Arizona team because Arizona's given up a lot of yards on the ground, through the air to a lot of different teams, a lot of missed tackles. This is the worst YAC defense in the league. They've given up the most YAC yards per reception out of any team in the NFL. The Seahawks are number 2, and obviously the 49ers get to play the Seahawks again this year as well. That's a big advantage for the 49ers. Budda Baker's missed 11 tackles this season. If there's one thing that Arizona's good at, and I wrote about it in this preview, it is stopping the run when they absolutely know it's coming. They have a good power success rate. I mean, we know J.J. Watt. He's going to be a Hall of Famer on this defense. He's good. He's smart at identifying things. Zach Allen, though, is another good hybrid type player up there. So that defense, it's got good metrics when it knows the run is coming. The Cardinals defense does, but they don't have good metrics anywhere else. A lot of missed tackles, not good against YAC, a lot of injuries. This is a game where I talked about it early in the week. 49ers need to do better in the red zone. That's been the one thing slowing their offense down. But if they convert these red zone opportunities into points, well, then you'll see the 49ers put up 30 in this game. I really think they should put up 30 in this game. The red zone execution just has to be better if you're the San Francisco 49ers. That's the missing key because efficiency-wise, ever since picking up Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers offense is ranked number 1 in football. DVOA number 1. In between the 20s, hell, even in between the 10s, you can say that they've been the most efficient offense in football over the past 3 weeks. The issue has come that the red zone production hasn't been as good as they've been in the middle of the field. And you've got to catch up with the red zone production. Last year, they were at 64% touchdown rate. Overall in the season this year, they're at 54%. Bump it up 1 score a game. If you have 1 more touchdown last game, you're closing in on 30 points, right? So it's one of those things where small plays, seemingly small plays at the time, can make a big difference in the natural flow of the game. And I think tomorrow it's lined up for a 49ers win. That's why they're favored by 8 over the Cardinals. But hey, there's a reason why they play these games. They are not automatic wins. It is not easy to win in the NFL. I mean, you saw it. A beleaguered Chargers team had the Chiefs on the ropes today. Earlier today, the Eagles, right? Philadelphia Eagles almost lost to the Indianapolis Colts. That would have helped the 49ers, but the 49ers got some favorable results elsewhere. New York Giants lost. The Minnesota Vikings, they have a negative point differential in the season now after just getting spanked by the Cowboys 40-3, and they are 8-2. So, I mean, regression to the mean for the Vikings, but anybody who's ahead of the 49ers in the NFC standings losing, that's good news for the 49ers. And it also, probably should show us some context that, when the 49ers do win, yeah, we can nitpick it to death. We can say they need to be better here, better in the red zone there. I get it. You're going to need that to win the ultimate prize down the stretch. But again, don't lose sight of the fact that winning in the NFL is not an easy thing. And right now, the 49ers have more wins than they have losses. It's a league of parity. It's way different than college football where it's, 5 teams that are going to beat up on everybody else and truly only 1 or 2 teams that has a chance to really win it all. Those of you just joining, I'm going to go through this one more time because Mexico City street food is awesome. Add this to the stream. Go back, check it out. That's me, of course, eating some tacos. Al Pastor tacos, straight from the spit. was just very complimentary with my words there. I know there was no sound on this video, but there's the spit. That's the Mediterranean influence on Mexican food. Do you know Mexico City is the largest city in North America? So now I have now checked off of my travel list the largest city in North America and the largest city in Europe. The largest city in Europe is Istanbul, Turkey. And in Istanbul, Turkey, you'll see that kind of meat spit at a lot of different places because they have kebabs over there. The kebab and the al pastor taco are distant cousins, and they're both delicious, and they both happen to be served in abundance in the biggest cities of their respective continents. There is the al pastor taco served to me, and we get that camera focused on it, and you could just see how tender, juicy, and good that meat was. It was delicious. And then they're chopping it up a little bit later. I mean, this was all fun. I think this was the chicken they're working on next to the al pastor. Yeah, that's the chicken. So Mexico City street food. It is a treat in this city of 22 million people, the largest in North America. You want to see some more footage from right across the way? It was this one. It was really good. Now there's a taqueria across the street that supposedly was famous, but the line was so long. And these guys, I thought I'd give the little outdoor stand a shot. And boy, did I not regret it. I'll answer a few questions here from Mexico City. Frank Gore made the trip to Mexico City, as you can see. He's not going to play for the 49ers, but let's talk. Harold says Micah Parsons looks unstoppable. Mike says make sure to hit that like button. Hugh says that's a shawarma machine. Yeah, the spit. They're related. I'm telling you. You could go read about it online. Food, the way that food travels the world and food influence goes from one place to another, and how, you know, that influence creates these magical hybrid dishes. Well, it's fascinating to track. Chicken tikka masala obviously is one of them. That's it's the most ordered dish in the city of London. But the al pastor taco and the spit, that right here, I got to fast forward. You don't want to see me eating this, although you'll have to. There you go. This right here, I mean, what a combination, right? You'll see it in Istanbul. You'll see their version. You'll see the kebab, and then you'll see it in Mexico City. The largest cities on their respective continents sure know how to do that street meat right. I didn't know that there were big Arabic communities in Mexico. That's what Mike just said down here. Yeah, so I mean that makes sense. It is a cool food conglomeration, that's for sure. Do I think that Kittle will have a big game tomorrow? Here's what I'll tell you about Kittle. The Cardinals have given up more receiving yards to tight ends per game than any other team in football. 73.6 yards per game allowed receiving to tight ends by Arizona's defense every single game. So, yes, I think George Kittle will have a big game. He's had big games against Budda Baker trying to cover him in the slot before. Remember the stiff arm in 2019 on Halloween in Arizona? So I'd say that Kittle's going to have a big game tomorrow. It may not happen. They might try to take him away, right? Then the 49ers go to one of their many other weapons. But if you look at the stats, there's a good chance. Now, don't take this as gambling advice, because then you're going to be mad at me when 49ers throw the Deebo Samuel all day. But what we've seen so far, Cardinals have given up a lot of yardage to tight ends. Sansa Mebucom should be back. He's questionable technically, but I think he's going to play in this game. I do. And I think the 49ers will be at their healthiest they've been in quite some time. Are the Eagles the biggest threat in the NFC? That's a great question. You know, I think that Philadelphia team, though, might not be the best constructed to win in January for a couple reasons. And they'll probably improve here. They picked up a couple defensive tackles, including Ndamukong Suh. But the run defense, and Suh's going to have to prove that he can transform that run defense, because it's one of the least efficient run defenses in football. Number 28 DVOA entering this weekend. And they're also not great against the short passing game. Their EPA surrendered to short passes is something like number 26 or 27 in the league. There's a reason why this version of Matt Ryan, who's no longer very good, was able to give Philadelphia some trouble. And obviously, Jonathan Taylor, the Indianapolis running back, was able to give that run defense some trouble, especially early in the game. I get it. Philadelphia stiffened up. They ultimately got the win, 17-16. But again, that's a Colts team that is like second to last in offensive DVOA. that has been through hell this year, coaching drama. Jeff Saturday now is the coach. Matt Ryan goes from bench to the back end of the lineup. Indianapolis moved the ball a little bit on those Eagles today. They just didn't finish enough drives. And Chase McLaughlin, former 49ers kicker, the guy who kicked it into the tunnel in 2019 on Monday Night Football against the Seahawks, he cost the Colts a win today. He missed the field goal that he should have made, and they lost by 1 point. So the Eagles are a threat, obviously, but I don't know if they're the biggest threat in the NFC to the 49ers, maybe. But I think the 49ers have the best roster. It's about staying healthy if you're the 49ers and securing an easy enough path to be able to go through the playoffs. Last year, they made it way too hard on themselves. So the Eagles, I'm just not so sure, because I think in the postseason, you've got to be able to stop the run, and you've got to be able to stop the short pass game. And if that is where your defensive weaknesses lie, it might be tough against some of these teams who can nail you with the short pass game like the 49ers and can nail you with the running game like the 49ers. No, I don't think that Trey Lance will be activated in case of emergency, because Kyle Shanahan has already essentially ruled him out for the season. I don't think the 49ers want to risk anything with Trey Lance. I think they want to make sure that he gets fully healthy and that the confidence is fully back by the time next training camp starts and he's ready to go for the offseason program. They don't just want to throw him in cold turkey this year. So that's the way that Kyle Shanahan's been speaking of this. And I don't think physically Trey Lance would be anywhere close to ready to go until like January, right? Until the tail end of the playoffs. And I definitely don't think the 49ers would want to do a cold turkey throw in at that point. Speaking of turkey, it's Thanksgiving week. It's Monday now here in Mexico City, about to be Monday on the Pacific Coast in just over an hour. Yeah, the capacity is about 85,000, I think 87,000. It was 103,000 fans when the 49ers played the Cardinals here in 2005. That was the first ever NFL Mexico regular season game. Somebody asks OBJ. I don't think so. I think the 49ers are going to get outbid. I think they'd be interested, but I don't know if they're going to be willing to pay enough. Mike points out that, the rehab, that's what I said, like January would be the very earliest. I don't think that rehab timeline would be ready till February, and you're not going to throw him into the Super Bowl, right? I mean, you cannot. That's a great way to get a guy re-injured, is to throw him in full speed right after rehabbing into a game that's as fast as the Super Bowl. The 49ers are the ones who knock. Breaking Bad reference. We are the NFC threat. That's what this commenter says, 187. He says they are the NFC threat. And I agree. I see some holes in Philadelphia. I've seen them over the past 2 weeks. I see some holes in the 49ers, but it's about who peaks at the right time moving forward here toward the end of the season. All right, so make sure you check this out. This is the 49ers-Cardinals preview. Subscribe to The Athletic. I'm going to post this sucker onto the comment section one more time. There you go. Put it up on the banner right now. Sub to The Athletic. I think you could get it for a very affordable price per month. And you'll see our predictions, our breakdown, some of the advanced stats packages entering this game. I think that stuff is all important. Quick live today from Mexico City. Time for me to relax a little bit. But hey, I did come to you live from Mexico City. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and, just go back and check out the tacos. I think it was very worth it. Mexico City street food for the win. It was really, really nice. All right, everybody, take care. Thanks for joining. Much more coverage coming soon here from one of the largest cities in the world. It has treated me very well so far. Take care.